So if you look at the lowest level of consciousness, what I call the victim mentality, it's a level that I call to me. There's 4 levels I'll break down.
To me?
To me. And the reason for that is because the mantra of that level of consciousness for people that operate there is that I would have the house, the car, the body, the money, the whatever, but everything happens to me. It's the quintessential victim mentality. And you only have to go to the savannah to understand that, victim isn't a place you want to be. Nowhere in the universe is the concept of victim supported.
So this is the lowest level of consciousness, victimhood.
Victimhood, correct. And the challenge with that is that there's a lot of attraction to it if you share your story and get significance, or what we call secondary gain from your story. Because what it really does is prevent you from requiring courage to move to the next level. And that next level is what I call by me. And by me is the achiever level. And it's where most people in personal growth tend to operate from. We realize that to me sucks. Nowhere is to me rewarding me with something other than short-term significance for sharing a problem. And you've heard the term misery loves company. Well, no, misery loves miserable company.
Yes.
Right? It's not a place you want to go. So Vince the Victim isn't a character I want to play. But moving into the achiever world, that's where the hustle is. That's where by me is, if I am going to get the house, the money, the life, the goals, what have you, it's going to happen by me. And so you get out there and you start wrestling reality. You start tackling the outer world. You start getting up early, doing your morning routine. And to be honest, the vast majority of personal growth is catering for what I call low by me to high by me. It's like, I already know you want to achieve. You're not lazy. See, in the original days, the early days, you've had Tony on, for example, in Tony's earlier days of personal growth, it was really attracting the to me to buy me market. All right, stop watching infomercials at 2 a.m, pull your thumb out of your ass, go set some goals,
Work
go
hard.
get them, cowboy.
Yeah.
I'll teach you how. The problem is that there's not a lot of money in the victim mentality wanting to escape from to me to buy me, because they're quite happy, a lot of them, being into me. Some people are very
It doesn't
happy.
take hard work.
Exactly. They're very happy being unhappy. In fact, if you solve their problem, they'll resent you for it, because now they've got to find another problem to be able to hold on to. And
To
we've
gain
all
significance for being a victim in something else.
significance, certainty, you name it. That they will wrestle you if you try to take their problems away. And that's fine. Some people have to hit their head on the sidewalk to learn how to tie their shoelaces, right? You can send them love, you can hold a space, and it's tough if it's someone you care about, your family member or what have you. But you really have to be able to understand that one of the first rules of coaching is that if you want something for somebody more than they want it for themselves, you're wasting your time. So most personal growth caters for the low by me to high by me. How to 10x, how to hustle more. You want a BMW, you want to go to a Porsche, or you're in a Ford, you want to go to a Lexus. It's the next level. The challenge with that, if I was to put it into characters, we know Vince the Victim is not a place you want to go. So Alan the Achiever is who shows up. But when you're wrestling the outer world without doing the work on the inner world, Alan the Achiever pretty soon becomes stressed out Simon. Which leads to burnt out Barry. Right? And maybe heart attack Harry. Or if you avoid that, what normally happens is you drop back down into to me to catch your breath, realize that's not who you are, get back on the horse. So your business fails, you get despondent, you go into victim mode for a short while, or you have a relationship breakup, you go into victim mode for a short while. Then you realize you shake it off, it's not who you are, you get back on the horse. But that cycle tends to repeat for a lot of people. And that's because there's a third level of consciousness. And the third level is the level of through me. Through me is where life starts flowing through you. There's far less effort. Synchronicities happen. Deals line up. Doors open as you touch the handle. You're not having to shoulder barge them in by me. And it's a very different way of being able to operate. And we've all had situations, moments, glimpses, phases where that tends to happen. But how do you engineer that is a great question, which I'll dive into. But through me is a far more effortless way of living. Now, if you go to somebody like Dr. Joe, who I know you've had on several times.
Yes.
Dr. Joe's market in personal growth centers around what I would call low through me to high through me. People understand there is a quantum field. There is an energy that is intelligent that if you know how to tune into it, it can do a lot of the heavy lifting for you to help you open the doors, to line up the meetings. See, in Buy Me, if you want to get a certain sales target, as an example, you make 50 sales calls and you hustle. In Through Me, you end up meeting somebody in a lineup in Starbucks who turns out to be a 50 client customer. It's that kind of energy,
Yes.
which people would call luck if you're in To Me. Chance if you're in Buy Me.
Yeah.
But as Dr. Joe says, if something happens once, it's an incident. If it happens twice, it's a coincidence. But if it happens more than twice, it's a pattern, and patterns are based upon laws. So how do you understand that? We know the laws of the physical world. We've reverse engineered that through observation, starting with Copernicus, getting into Galileo, into Newton. And we know now the physical laws so well, we can repair the human body or put somebody in orbit. But what are the laws that govern the inner world? That's where Through Me operates. And people that go to a Dr. Joe week-long advanced retreat, you're not going to get people from Buy Me go there because they're too busy being busy. People that already understand that, low through me to high through me, great. My market, the one that I've spent most of my career working with, is I'm the guy that gets people from Buy Me to Through Me. That's the jump.
Because once you start realizing there's a different level from Buy Me to Through Me, that's when things start to unlock.
Absolutely.
And there's levels within Through Me.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There is a fourth level, and this original model comes from Michael Beckwith.
Okay.
And I searched for years to find out where this original model came from. And I was with actually Michael a little while ago in Bali. We were speaking at the same event.
Yeah, he's a great
guy. And he
guy.
says, it came through when he was teaching in class one time. But
it probably came through him too.
Exactly.
It's like
that's how it works.
And what's the fourth level?
Fourth level is what we call ASME. It's above my pay grade. It's really where a lot of the spiritual masters arrived at and taught from. And it's really what you would call non-duality. It's about oneness. And so the questions become, how do you move through the levels? I'll give a short insight. So to get from To Me to Buy Me, from victim to achiever, what have you got to give up? What have you got to replace it with?
Yes.
Well, the first thing you have to give up is blame. Blame doesn't work in any area of life. I don't care if you're sat at the traffic lights and somebody hits you from behind. The moment you start blaming, your frequency drops to a point of victim. Taking responsibility for everything, no matter what, is a very hard pill for people in To Me to swallow. So it's a lot easier to point fingers. As I said, it releases you from the obligation of being able to embrace courage to move forward through your insecurities or fears.
Wow.
To go from, and what do you replace it with? Personal responsibility.
Yeah.
And that's pretty simple.
So victimhood is really about being in a state of blame or lack of responsibility.
Yeah.
Or even if something happened that you didn't want to happen, that maybe you felt like it was not supposed to happen, there's still a level of how can I respond from a place of, okay, this happened to me. This was not fair, whatever it might have been. I was abused. I was neglected. Someone stole from me, whatever it might be. I got fired. Okay, this happened. Maybe it wasn't fair, but it's what I'm hearing you say is learning to interpret it a certain way, take responsibility for the energy or the actions you're in right now, and create a vision from a place of responsibility moving forward rather than staying stuck in that victim mentality. Is that what I'm hearing, or is there something else?
100%.
Okay.
And there's some skills required to develop to be able to do that, which I'm happy to touch on as well. To go from, Buy Me to Through Me, what have you got to give up? What have you got to replace it with? Well, the first thing you've got to give up, and some people aren't going to like hearing this, is the need for control. I didn't say control itself, but the need for control. And most people are trying to control so many things that are uncontrollable in the outer world. Hence the amount of stress that usually comes up. What do you got to replace that with? Trust. Faith, knowing, pick a word. In what? In all fairness, something bigger than you. Most people I've worked with that are depressed because they're too focused on themselves. And that's, that can be tough when everything's against you because you're in survival mode. It's natural. But generally speaking, gratitude and depression don't live in the same room.
Right.
And if you can focus on something to be grateful for, and there is always something to be grateful for, but if you can give up the need for control and replace it in something that's smarter than you. Again, let's go back to Einstein. He said, one of the most powerful questions you could ask or answer in your lifetime is, do you live in a friendly or a hostile universe? Now just look at that through the lens for a second. If I believe that I live in a hostile universe, everything out there with teeth is after me, I'm separate, therefore I'm only focused on myself. Therefore, it's all about, the egocentrism. It's all about, how do I protect? How do I safeguard? How do I conquer? Whatever it may be, go out and get. If you are with somebody and you break up and you live in a hostile universe, your self-talk is going to be, I'm no good, so they left me, or why did this happen to me? If you look at life through the lens of a friendly universe, somebody leaves you, so, well, thank God they went, so they made room for somebody who's right. If this is happening for me, then there's something here to learn. And asking questions like, look at what I've learned rather than look at what I've lost, is a different shift between a life on antidepressants and a life of possibility.
Yes.
And so what was Einstein really pointing at? Because the reality, Lewis, is that we don't live in a friendly universe, nor do we live in a hostile universe. We live in a self-reflecting universe. Two men sat behind prison bars, one saw mud, the other saw stars. Same environment, different interpretation. So if you're able to develop the skills of how to look at life through the lens of, through me, rather than by me or to me.
Yeah.
And one of the key skills to that is asking better questions. And people underrate that as an actual skill. So your brain is a loop closing mechanism. It's going to find answers if you pose questions to it. It's what it does. It's like a faithful Labrador. If you get a stick and you throw a stick for your Labrador,
go catch it.
it's going to go get it.
Yeah.
Now, what most people do is they throw lousy sticks, right? You throw a question and you get this moldy stick and you throw it in the swamp and the Labrador comes and drops it back on your clean carpet. Yet you ask the question, why am I not good enough? Why does this happen to me? Why am I unlucky? Your brain's going to fetch the stick because you're a schmuck, because your teacher said you weren't good enough, because your elder brother got all the attention, whatever it is. The mind's job is to rationalize and justify. That's what it does, right? Not based on truth, based on trying to close the loop. The brain doesn't like to live in the space of a question. That's what makes cliffhangers or page turners, right? Because we need to know what's happening next. So you learn to ask better questions. Again, if you're in through me, you're asking questions, as I say, instead of why is this happening to me? It's like, okay, what can I learn from this that serves me? What's great about this I've not noticed yet? What could make this fun for me in something that's boring? Just asking better questions. Why? Because questions are the steering wheel of the mind. Questions direct focus. And so learning how to be conscious about asking questions rather than be trained to ask the wrong questions. And this is where another powerful concept comes in that helps you stay in through me versus by me. The whole aspect of by me is competition. It's effort, it's force, it's go wrestle reality to the ground to try to make it fit my pictures. Through me is where you move your center of gravity from control to observation. You're allowing something smarter than you to do the heavy lifting because your frequency is aligned with what it is that you want, not focus on what you don't want.
Right.
Again, life is a self-reflecting universe. And so many people are standing in front of the mirror and they're angry because it's not smiling back.
Right.
And so what do? They try a short-term fix in the outer world. They get some lipstick and they draw a smile on the mirror, hoping that that's going to work.
Interesting.
But you have drama at the dinner table, you solve that. There's drama at the gas station. You go to work, there's drama there. You're in the genre because you haven't fixed the smile on your own face. Hence, outer world follows inner world.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy this and you want more inspirational content, make sure to click the subscribe button below and click right here to watch what's coming next.